Hello, my name is Jeff Lovejoy, and I'm a certified business coach with Action Coach. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Robert Ross, owner of Ross Resign. Welcome, Robert.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for taking some time to share with the audience ideas and strategies that you've worked to get past this pandemic. So let's get started. Tell me a little bit about Ross Resign.
We're an architecture firm, and we specialize in custom home renovation and remodeling, as well as some specialty boutique retail. So basically, we've had a huge demand and a work backlog. So being trapped at home was not necessarily a problem for me. I got to start to whittle away at that backlog, and it's still not gone.
Well, it's nice the pipeline is so full.
Yes, and I have picked up about 4 jobs during this.
Excellent, excellent. So how long have you been how long have you owned Ross Resign?
Since '97, so what is that? 23 years? Yeah, about 23 years.
20 years. Yeah. So you 23. Okay. So you mentioned that you're primarily focused on residential homeowners, and you do some selective commercial.
Right.
And within the homeowners, are you kind of geographically centered inside perimeter? Do you go outside perimeter? Are you Georgia? Will you go outside the Southeast? Where's the what's the target? And demographics, is it upper end? Is it mid class? Is it lower end? Where's the target?
My target is probably upper middle to higher end. Most of them are professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, a lot of them are self-employed professionals.
Got it.
Lawyers, doctors, a judge. He's obviously not self-employed, but a lot of people in that. I've had several psychologists as clients.
Interesting.
So, professional people who want to make their home better and understand the value of what an architect can bring to the project.
Got it. Thank you. So what's been the impact on the business from COVID? It doesn't sound like finding new clients has been a challenge, or has it?
I know they're still finding me.
Nice spot to be in.
So, and since we're supposed to be out running around and doing everything and as normal nowadays, even though I'm not, I'm limiting myself to 2 client meetings a week.
Got it.
And that's actually been beneficial as well.
So is that the biggest impact then on the business from the pandemic? It's keeping you inside and not as much, not as many meetings?
Not as many meetings, but it keeps me available for work. Now, what I have noticed is that even though I'm available for work, even though it doesn't impact my work necessarily, there is a stress factor from all the stuff out there that surrounds us that is having an impact. And it's something that I've had conversations with friends about. They're hit with the same thing, where you have the work, you have to do the work, but it's sometimes very difficult to focus on the work because of all the outside noise and distraction.
Got it. Yeah, I've noticed sometimes that just staying inside so long has kind of impacted at various points in time the I don't want to say motivation. I don't know what the right word is, but it's
The
sometimes
productivity level.
the productivity level maybe is a good way to say that. It's kind of it suffers more so than it used to when I was out on the road a lot.
Yeah,
So
because I've always been deadline driven. So when I go and um, when I'm running from meeting to meeting and I have them scheduled out, then I'm constantly in the zone of trying to get that work produced so I can be at that meeting. And without meetings to drive my work, it's kind of
yeah, right.
in a strange limbo zone.
Yeah, got it. All right. Do you find that your potential clients are hesitant to have people come in their house to do the design work, or I guess they wouldn't reach out to you if they had that hesitation right now?
Most of the clients are, it's not an issue. We come in and either measure or they're providing me with drawings of the existing houses. So it hasn't been that much of an issue, and then we can start doing stuff virtually. I had one client that I worked with that we were in process as everything was shutting down. And we ended up, it was a bathroom renovation. It's a phase one of that project. And we ended up doing everything virtually. We had gone and picked out the tile and stuff prior to the shutdown, but once it's shut down, then we're sending each other links back and forth for plumbing fixtures, lighting fixtures. Yes, no, let's try this. So we're doing a lot of back and forth virtually, photographs,
Yep,
JPEGs.
got it. So that's how is that created efficiencies, or has it created inefficiencies because it's a lot of individual emails back and forth as opposed to being face to face where you can deal with everything?
Well, it's quicker to do an email back and forth than it is to drive 45 minutes back and forth to a job site.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So, in a lot of senses, it is more efficient. The projects do keep going. Some clients, a lot of clients are just totally shut down and don't want anybody in their house. But since I'm in a planning mode, that's not really an issue for me.
It becomes an issue for the builders then, that once they is that who feels that issue more
Right.
than you do? So they'll engage you, you'll create the plans, and then a period of time may go by before they get comfortable having the contractors in there doing the modifications.
Right. And then, but I mean, on the flip side of that, a lot of these jobs, the homeowners aren't living in the project.
I see.
So the houses are empty, or it's a lot of outside work versus the clients can stay inside. And so there's not a whole lot of interaction.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So you haven't been impacted so much by COVID. So my next question was going to be, what have you taken to overcome the challenges? It sounds like doing more virtual is perhaps one of those answers.
Right.
Are there other things that you've done to overcome the impact of the pandemic?
I'm trying to make sure I take time for myself.
Oh, there you go. Good for you.
Because like I said, you can get overwhelmed by just the swirl of anxiety that's out there, and it does come home, and it just comes in through the TV and Netflix even. So, I mean, doing a lot of binge watching, some gardening, just taking walks, but trying to find time for myself. And that's actually harder to do when you have a backlog of work, because you don't want to take time away from the work.
Uh-huh.
But I still, I try to make sure I take a good chunk of time for lunch, and I don't eat at my desk.
Good.
And,
Excellent.
um,
Excellent.
just try and take a break, and then I come back and I'm in a slightly different place. So if I was stuck, I would be, it's possible that the log jam broke over lunch, or I come back and I look at something I'm working on and it's just like, oh, that was stupid. Why didn't I fix that? So it's those little breaks help. What I do miss is the spontaneous personal interaction with people.
Got it.
Being able to meet a client at a showroom, being able to sit down face to face and look at products and come up and get excited about a design together. It's hard to do when you're isolated, because so much of what I do relies on picking up on visual cues from the clients as they interact with product or with a showroom, just to see what they're drawn to and make sure that they get redirected in the right direction.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I got it. So do you suppose that as you've been in business and you've built a great reputation over the 23 years, are others that are new in the industry or haven't been around as long and built a reputation, is the pandemic affecting them?
They struggle because they don't have the network. They don't have the depth of web presence that I have, that I've maintained.
Yep.
So that's a big thing, is that you just don't have that connection. And it's very hard to get those new connections out virtually or through Zoom.
Sure. So the landscape will be different, maybe different as we come out of this, in that some people may have cashed in and closed their businesses and gone to work for some architectural firm, or do you see most of them sticking with it?
Billings across the architectural industry are down. I think there's a lot of there are a lot of projects that may be under reevaluation because corporations have been working from home or have had their employees working from home.
Yep.
They may not feel a need for all the square footage that they've had. So their operations may streamline, which is going to cause a ripple effect.
Yep.
In a good way for some of us, but in a bad way for a lot of people. And I'm hearing rumors that as the first wave of this pretty much hit the lower end of the service industries as far as impact. But what I'm hearing now is that the more management level and above are probably going to start getting laid off, and that's going to start impacting the numbers, because then you do start to get into my clientele base.
Yep. And I guess that would be offset a little bit with more people working virtually, spending more time at home. There might be the tendency, or is there the tendency for them to think, well, you know what, if I'm not really that comfortable with my house. I'd like to have it feel, I'd love to change this or that. And I better pick up the phone and call Robert.
That's driving a lot of it.
Got it. Okay. It's said that smart people learn from their mistakes and make changes, and people that aren't so smart just don't recognize they make mistakes and they don't improve from it. What mistakes or what have you done that you've learned from in the regards to the pandemic? Have there been lessons learned or is the fact that doing work virtually, does that kind of say, well, you know what, maybe this is something I can carry forward once we're back to normal, whatever normal looks like going forward? Are there things that you're kind of being forced to do that you can apply going forward?
For me, I mean, what's impacting in a negative way is interaction with governmental agencies. They shut down for a while. They did not function. There is a backlog in the building departments. They've scrambling, trying to figure out how to get how do you issue permits in a non-touch world?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
And so they're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out from how do we respond to their response, and that's always changing, and how do we need to move forward?
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. So how about telling people how they can reach you, phone wise or email or website?
The best way is through the website, rossdesignatlanta.com. That is the easiest way, rossdesignatlanta.com. There's a contact portion on there where you can click and it'll give all the information.
Excellent. All right, Robert, my last question is, what inspires you these days?
What inspires me is that there are still so many people trying to move the world in a positive direction. And as that trickles down into construction, people are more concerned with the bigger picture. They want more energy efficiency. They want spaces that function. They're actually, the industry is actually evolving quite a bit, both on the energy standpoint and the desire for right sizing their house. Yeah, it's right sizing is very important. Having the connection to the outside is very important. Being able to work while your family's running around the rest of the house is a very important thing. So these are all factors that play more into the conversations about design than they have in the past.
Interesting. 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 Okay, Robert. Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I was happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.